Yo, what's up? What's up?
Hey, so nice to have you here, Vince. And I heard you brought some really nice goodies for us here.
Oh, I have. What do we got today? We got Ableton racks. We got a big collection. They're fresh, they're new. I've been working on them for quite a long time, like 6 months or something like that. And, well, they're out in the wild now, and they're out on outerverse.fm. I guess we'll get right into them. Today, we're going to go over 4 different racks. These are all part of Sequence Lab, which is mostly based off this step sequencer type device that we've made here. We're going to get into it more in a bit. So the first one is called Analogics, which is very kind of like, let's say, analog style kind of go-ish lead. The next one, we're going to go over what I call the mother of all glitch leads, which is a really glitchy, fun patch, very heavy on your CPU. Sorry about that, but hopefully it doesn't catch on fire. And if it does, it's not my fault. So then next we got this other one, which is with another MIDI device called Funk the Arp. It's kind of an FM lead. And then we're going to have the Quadro Chopper, which is some sampler goodness. Really fun and glitchy kind of sample based patch right there. Get right into it. So this one's called Analogics. And yeah, it's based on this step sequencer type rig. And as you can see, there's a lot going on here. These aren't your average racks. These are like full chains. This is more than just a patch. You know, even just in this instrument, you have several presets here. But then, you know, like you could milk this in so many different ways and get different results. A big part of this patch is this kind of custom filter setup, which is the dual peak bandpass. Effectively, it's 2 bandpasses with 2 different peaks, and it kind of gives a little formanty feel. We'll get into that in a sec. Some more effects. So sounds pretty fun there. All right, so let's dive right into this. So this sequencer is divided into different blocks. And yeah, as you can see, it's got 16 steps, and this is being controlled by an arpeggiator to start. So this arpeggiator is sending a MIDI trigger. In this case, as you can see, the steps set to 16. It's being sent through a expression control and then the target chain selector. So effectively, every note that is sent by the arpeggiator gets processed through this thing. It's going to go by increments. So by that, I mean, here we got a chain selector where each chain has one of these little pitch things. So here we got pitch control, pitch control, pitch control, pitch control, pitch control. And then these pitch controls are being mapped to here. So every time there's a new note from the arpeggiator being sent, the increment is set to cycle through these chains. So from 1 to 16. So now we got a step sequencer. Now we got the note length sequencer, which is the same thing. It's on the cycle 16, and this controls your note length per note as you go through that 16 steps. Now, velocity, same thing, same idea. Now, in a lot of these cases, these velocities will be mapped to the instrument to, like, say, the cutoff, whatever. So we can kind of make really cool patterns, kind of like you do with like a kind of a stepped LFO in Serum, but this is doing that via velocity. Now, we also have some extra controls here. We have note on sequence. So basically, this gives you rest notes. So if you want it to skip some notes, it'll basically do that. So this is doing the same thing, except as you can see, these are all mapped to the on-off. So it's still cycling through the 16, except you basically disable them. And then we have octave. Obviously, this can get a little crazy when you got all of them open. So if you don't plan on using them, you can maybe, you know, kind of crunk these down so you don't waste your energy kind of flipping back and forth through all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, as you can see, this is a really cool way to come up with melodies. And also I have a decent little collection of presets for this sequencer, all in our favorite scales for Psytrance. Phrygian dominant, natural minor, Phrygian, harmonic minor, Hungarian. So these are quite cool because, you know, you don't have, if you don't know your scales, well, you could refer to this and start constructing them using these as a template. So now another cool thing to note about this is that we got this control unit over here, which effectively controls the amount of steps per thing. So now we could get some pretty interesting combinations where the ARPs are cycling by 16 or by 6 or whatever. And then your gates can be doing a different pattern, cycling in 8s or 4s. The gate steps, this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this now is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17. And this going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So basically we could kind of create these alternating patterns between these different combinations that we're cycling through, which makes it kind of interesting. And then on top of that, what even makes it even more fun is now we could just hit random. And another cool little thing that I'm going to note too while I'm here, there's another little MIDI effect. I mean, it's part of the stock Ableton thing, but I put this scales control. So depending on what scale you're in, what key you're in, we can effectively use this as a control unit. Okay, so let's say we're in Phrygian dominant, okay, in the key of whatever, A, no, in this case we're in F. So now you could just randomize this. It could work sometimes, but obviously like your root notes need to be kind of set. But anyways, you could do something like, if you want to do randomization, you could kind of like, let's say take your root notes in 0, and then you can go here, exclude from randomization. So you could set certain notes that you want to be like stable and then randomize the rest. So now it's going to leave. So yeah, if you want to like keep your root notes in certain places stable, like that. So then yeah, let's just kind of get rid of this delay so we can kind of get a little more clear sound of the sequencer. See how like just playing with this kind of gives you like really cool like random ideas right away, just like, oh, like I like that, you know? And it's really like does things that you wouldn't normally think about when you're trying to program MIDI notes into a MIDI clip. Just because of that, it kind of, and also it gives it kind of like the feeling like you're playing with like a hands-on modular kind of sequencer, you know? What's really cool too is like kind of jamming with this. So basically we can like here, I'm just gonna set this to record post effects. Okay, this is already set up. So you basically set a new channel with the input to be post effects here. Sequencer. Yeah, Sequence Lab Analogics, post effects. Now this should record. Oh, you got to arm it. So there we go. Now we got this kind of really interesting evolving pattern. So yeah, that's really fun. I think we can move on to the next one. Here we got the mother of all glitch leads. Now this guy's super fun as well. Blast. So as you can see, that's quite the exciting patch. A lot of stuff going on. So what is this? We got kind of the same idea, but we're using a light version of the acid sequencer. So this is 8 pitch, 8 note-ons. It's still cycling through 16 in the arpeggiator, but it's just going through 8 different pitch things. Yeah, so yeah, it's basically the same thing with the sequencer, but on this patch, what do we got here under the hood? We got all these cool synths, basically all stacked up in the chain selector. And as you can see, these are all set to like increments also. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's count 0. So there's 8 there. So the same idea where this expression control set to increment chain selector is being sent to this guy. So every note that's being hit is playing a different synth. So, I mean, think about what you could do with that. I mean, look, obviously working only with Ableton stuff, there's some limitations, but imagine like even just 4 instances of Serum where you're basically like cycling through like different instances of Serum. I mean, poor CPU, it's going to set your computer on fire, but it's going to be super cool. And actually, I'm really set on experimenting with that kind of stuff more. Let's see what happens in the future. But for now, yeah. So as you can see, each one of these chains is going through a different synth. And then each one of these chains also has its own unique glitch kind of setup. And those are all basically on-off switches. And then these are the filters for all the instruments. So they can do some pretty weird stuff too. So let's just hide this. Yeah, and the cool thing about these patches, you can hit random on all of them and just like get really cool generations. In this case, it's a little bit limited because they're, these are just basically controlling the filters of all these, but then you can get inside each one of these and then change the patch here too. And each one of these has its own settings. So you can randomize these and play with this all you want and just get all these cool different combinations. Actually, I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you with this one here just how cool some of these randomizations can really be. I basically just wrote 20 Psytrance songs in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta sample out all these after the video and put them in a track.
Well, you got it now. You could just do that, and it's like Psytrance sound effects Christmas.
Yeah, actually, the technique you're showing kind of like was the same technique which you used when we produced our track. I brought like tons of leads, and you put them like to all this like randomness and chopped them into these nice bits. And
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's not all random, you know? I mean, I guess it's random if you're just given the tools, but if you're making everything from the ground up and then hitting the random, it's not so random. Like, this is all programmed, you know?
like controlled randomness, so like not random, but like taking things which are there and then like whatever, like going different ways in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back to the mother of all glitch leads. So yeah, there was another thing to note too, is like your chain selector things. You're not limited to this increment control. So I'm just gonna delete this just to show you another method that you could use to get the same effect out of a chain selector. Sorry, it's gonna take a couple seconds to load here. Because for me, using the chain selector for using the increment, if you're doing a MIDI based thing, like a MIDI based rack, it works the best because it's going to be locked onto the MIDI. Whenever you're hitting a new MIDI note, for sure, it's like gonna do the increment. But you could also use an LFO. Okay, so what do we got here? Okay, so LFO. So yeah, you could just map that LFO to. So now you can see here the obvious issue is that, at least it's obvious to me, is that, how do you say, values that it's cycling through now, and it's only, these chains are only going up to 8 or 7 actually, counting 0, so it's 8 counting 0. So what we're gonna have to do is stretch this out. So you could just stretch 1 across and then go distribute ranges equally. And then now that will spread these out across the whole thing here to 127. And then here in the LFO, we can set this to remote. And that will go from 0 to 100, easy. And now it's hitting random places on this chain selector. So now it's not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 8 and recycling. It's going random all over the place. As you can see, there's hours of fun there. Next up, we got Synaptic Funk. So this is made with another custom MIDI device, which I've concocted. And it is based roughly on the same idea as the other sequencer, except instead of cycling through a pitch sequencer, now it's going through another series of ARPs. So as you can see here, let's get under the hood. Got an expression control, increment, chain select, and now we got here arpeggiator 1, arpeggiator 2, arpeggiator 3, arpeggiator 4. Now this one is mostly made to create cool FM style rhythms or any kind of percussive rhythm. And effectively what's going on here is that we got the first ARP, which is usually better when it's set to like a slightly slower division. We don't want to send it like straight 16ths, because this is going to be chopped up again by this guy, right? So basically this is, first one is now going 1, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. And then, so that'll be basically cycling through these guys here. We could go to 6 and get the same thing. It'll cycle through 6. So basically get interesting patterns, because it's not cycling through a 16th, you know, it's cycling through 6s. And here we got a sort of FM lead generator. So same idea, we just get really cool. Do the same thing, you ran. Yeah. So yeah, this is really cool. And yeah, it's the same idea where you can get really kind of interesting rhythmic variations by automating this. I also turned the sync for this guy off. So now you basically unlock this and get even more kind of cool rhythms, but it's still locked because it's passing through this guy after, right? So this guy has the ARPs afterwards. So even if this guy's unlocked, it's still going to be synced. All right, so let's check out Quadro Chopper, which is the last on our menu for Sequence Lab. And it is another epic rack that is effectively a sample-based rack instead of the melodic side here. So we got 4 samplers under the hood. So this is doing the same thing. It's cycling through these different chains, but in this case, it's actually using an LFO to go through these randomly. And then also on this Funk the ARP sequencer here, or arpeggiator setup, whatever you want to call it, we got a random at the end here. So this random is sending, random notes, which are effectively controlling random positions on the sample, which is chopped using the slice by transient or whatever. I don't know. They're all the same, but they're all sliced by transient. So the sample, as you can see here, it's got these little markers. So every note plays a different slice. These slices are being triggered randomly, and then also it's cycling through the different samplers randomly. So we're getting two kind of combinations of randomness to kind of create a little smorgasbord of. And then on top of that, you could drop your own samples. I mean, these are pretty cool, like glitchy samples that I've used in my own tracks that I've made over the years. So you're free to use them as they are, but you could drop them in here and make your own weird glitchy stuff. You can also play with this grain and flux to make interesting combinations. And there is also this really cool Max for Live device. I forget what it's called, but you could use it to automate these. Otherwise, you can't. You could just control them, but you can't you don't have the control to to modulate or do anything other than that. But there is a Max for Live device for that, so check that out. It could give you an extra layer of interestingness to this. Then we got these kind of glitchy effects. These are all part of the One Knob effects collection in WTFX. So we're going to get into that in another episode, but check this out. Super fun. I'm sure you can only imagine what this sounds like with even more glitchy effects after that. Oh my god.
So basically you can render it out, all the glitches, and then put it again into the sample, and then you can start all over and
Yeah,
get
exactly.
like an glitch.
Yeah, it's like a glitch inception.
It's like you're breaking the matrix with that one.
Glitch the glitch. But yeah, it's
no, it's really, really interesting, especially the random. I didn't expect it doing that much, but it really like created a complete new sound, and you can totally, I totally can't imagine sampling out, like pressing it and letting it run for like half an hour, and then selecting the good bits and chopping together something cool.
Yeah, obviously some of them are better than others at the randomization, but man, it's crazy. It's like endless ideas, really.
No, pretty cool. Pretty cool.